There's just so much.
You're listening to a Mamamia podcast.
Mamamia acknowledges the traditional owners of land and waters that this podcast is recorded on. Hello and welcome to Cancelled, the podcast that looks at silly celebrity crimes and assigns charges and sentences to them so that we can all move on with our lives. I'm Jessie Stevens and I'm joined by
Claire Stevens.
And Claire, do you have a lazy girl story for us today?
Absolutely. Jessie, this is from Hannah. She said, "Hey guys, last night I made pasta." Honestly, well done, Hannah.
Well, a moment for Hannah.
Pasta is a lazy girl
It's a
staple.
go-to, it's a staple.
When I drained it in the sink, a few bigger chunks got stuck in the plug thing that stops food going down the drain. She said in brackets, don't know what it's called.
No.
Too lazy to Google it.
No, it's just the
drain.
The drain plug, yep.
She said, I couldn't be bothered walking the 5 metres to the bin, so I washed them under the tap.
Yeah, and chucked them in the bowl.
She ate them.
Oh, just raw.
Lazy girl.
She's a lazy girl.
A raw pasta.
She raw dogged that pasta.
Because I have this all the time where I am doing the draining situation and they fall into the sink and I think, be honest, when was the last time you washed the sink? And I go,
Sorry, I washed the sink recently because I bathed Matilda in it.
okay, all right.
Yep.
Because I was like, I throw dirty things in the sink all the time. How dirty is my sink? But by then I've thrown the bowl.
There's a thing you can get that I've seen on Facebook where it's like if you've got like pasta, you pour it into this little plastic thing that's like over the sink and then you chuck that in the bin. But again, it's the issue of actually chucking it in the bin.
Yeah, you're not going to make it there.
Then you got food scraps everywhere.
Oh, I feel you. Very relatable.
You are about to enter the cancelled courtroom. The defendants are celebrities. The charges are petty. The rulings are final.
Claire, today on trial is David Jude Hayworth Law. David, known to friends.
He does not look like a David.
No, known to friends, aka us, as Jude.
Yeah.
My parents stupidly had this idea to name me and my sister after their best friends. My dad's best friend is David and my sister's best friend is Andrew, but they never called us those names. But no one's ever called me David. Everyone's called me Jude, but people are always like, oh, you changed your name to Jude because you're an actor.
Jude was born in 1971 in London to 2 school teachers and mate, so far, same.
Lovely.
We have a lot in common. His interest in performing began in childhood. He was cast in the odd play. And then by 17, he had dropped out of school to pursue the acting thing full time. Before he'd even been in a movie, he was nominated for a Tony Award for his role in a Broadway play. We've said it once, we'll say it again. We think people who do theatre are the
superior.
Capital R, capital A, real actors.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
they have to
learn
memorize their lines.
Or memorize
their lines for a whole play. His real breakout role came in 1999. What movie was it, Claire?
Not Alfie.
No. That was next. The
no.
talented Mr. Ripley.
Oh,
He
watched
was
that.
Dickie.
I watched that again recently.
He's so hot in it.
Better the second time. But it's so good.
Because it had Matt Damon, it had Gwyneth Paltrow. Brilliant.
And he's just so convincing.
he's so good.
Dickie Greenleaf?
Who's that?
It's Thom. Thom Ripley. We were at Princeton together.
Okay. Did we know each other?
From there, he did Cold Mountain,
Their love happened in an instant.
I want to marry you.
Alfie,
Oh, blimey, I'm so rude. I haven't introduced myself. I'm...
Alfie.
The Holiday, I have in brackets outstanding, Sherlock Holmes, Contagion, a documentary before its time, and a bunch of Fantastic Beasts.
He did that movie with Natalie Portman. Closer.
Yep, he did Closer.
Great soundtrack.
Just on Fantastic Beasts, apparently it's grossed quite well. Do you know anyone who's ever watched a Fantastic Beasts? Oh, no. Rory, your husband, watches Fantastic Beasts.
No, we've watched them together.
And?
It is fine.
They're
no,
fine?
It's not fine. It's okay.
Okay. Because I think he plays Dumbledore?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand. Is it a prequel?
Yes. It is. No, I didn't enjoy them. No, I didn't.
No, it's got Eddie Redmayne in it, which made me think it was going to be outstanding. I've seen 2 minutes of one and I went, oh, this isn't it.
Yeah, no, it's not it. You're taking the Harry Potter universe and you're butchering it.
You're throwing some beasts in.
Yeah.
My structure for today is as follows. A close family member accepting bribes from the press, the Sienna Miller nanny cheating scandal, 7 kids to 4 different women, no judgment, just facts, and fecal-scented perfume. The family member who accepted bribes.
Oh, this would be every member of our family if we were famous. Can you imagine?
You want $25 to leak? Oh, yeah.
Our Uncle Ross would be like, I am there. Give me $5. I'll give you childhood photos.
I got him. I got him on my phone. Jude Law and Sienna Miller were famously victims of the News of the World scandal. We did a massive deep dive on this scandal in our episode on Rupert Murdoch. But basically it was illegal phone hacking that ended with News of the World, a newspaper, being closed down. In 2014, Jude Law gave testimony in the News of the World trial.
Jude Law, the actor, has arrived to go into the witness box at the phone hacking trial, which is being held at the Old Bailey. He's greeted by a crowd of television cameras.
And the lawyer was like, you're the first person in this case where I don't have to ask who you are or what you do.
Oh, that's nice.
Because you are Alfie.
You are Jude Law, beautiful man who I want to kiss.
Basically, he is giving testimony against editors of News of the World, and he's saying that the media would arrive at a location that he'd organised completely in secret. It didn't make any sense that they'd know where he was.
Jude Law told the court, there seemed to be an unhealthy amount of information that meant they had access to my life and my whereabouts.
And in the courtroom, someone passes him a note with a name written on it of a person very close to him, an intimate, direct family member who was being paid to leak against him. He was then asked when he first learned of this, and his voice cracked as he said, today. I wasn't aware of that.
Oh my God.
So this immediate family member sold information to the tabloids in 2005 about an alleged affair that happened between his ex-partner, Sienna Miller. Do you know who she allegedly had an affair with? Sienna in 2005.
No.
Had an alleged affair with Daniel Craig, James Bond star.
Oh, wow.
They'd been in layer cake together. It turns out that after the revelations in the paper, Law confronted Craig, who was his co-star in a movie a few years before, and they had been friends for years and years. The lawyer is all like, so did you tell Craig that he had to tell his current girlfriend about the affair? Because Craig had a girlfriend too. And it's like, yes, okay, love this line of questioning. Is it directly relevant to the case against News of the World?
No. And a few things I'll say about this. Firstly, how do you expect anyone, even a close family member, to keep that kind of gossip to themselves?
It's too exciting.
It needs to be shared.
And also, how do you expect a lawyer whose job it is to prosecute 2 editors of News of the World not to also spend time in court?
Not to get sidetracked.
And
the judge. The judge says, look, is this about News of the World?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But Jude Law, tell me about Sienna's cheating.
Were you upset? How did you react? Did you fight? And then you turn to News of the World and you say, I don't condone this, but do you have a voice recording of any of their fights so that I can hear for evidence?
I reckon the judge is like, I'm going to subpoena Jude. Your text, Sienna's text, Daniel Craig's text.
For all time.
Yeah. And everyone's like,
is that relevant? Is that relevant to this case?
Well, who cheated on fucking who?
and in what order?
Yeah.
And may I say, News of the World, if you have the recording of Jude Law calling Daniel Craig to talk about the cheating with Sienna Miller, I'm going to need that.
Yeah.
Personally.
And I'm going to let you off scot-free in return. Oh, come on.
Come on. Let me listen. Let me listen. So News of the World recorded a voice message that Miller left on Craig's phone. So they had hacked the phone.
Which, for context, and the thing we talked about in our Rupert Murdoch episode, is it was all about the fact that if you called somebody's phone, there was a PIN to be let into their voice messages and you could guess the PIN. And that's what News of the
So
World
this was a voice
journalist did.
message. And Sienna Miller said, I'm out with Jude. I'm at some restaurant. I love you. And that was apparently evidence. But Miller said in court, I think the thing that is being slightly misconstrued about this voicemail message was that I said I love you and that this was some incredibly important declaration of love. Since we became friends in 2003, I always ended my phone calls with I love you, as I did with all my friends and family. I actually believe that. I'd say I love you to lots of people who I'm not having an affair with.
Yeah.
Then she says, whether or not I was in a relationship with Daniel Craig, it was not a relationship. It was a very brief encounter and he was my best friend. Me saying I love you, whether anything romantic happened briefly or not, there was nothing significant. You had an affair, naughty,
Okay.
naughty.
Naughty, naughty.
Did you have an affair, yes or no? I don't care if it was brief.
Okay.
Was it fleeting?
Okay, it was clearly fleeting what I'm hearing, what I am hearing.
We had a lapse in judgment.
Yes, and there was a sexual rendezvous once, twice, not over and over again. Did I love him as a friend? Did his penis go in my vagina? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Have you seen him in Bond? Have you seen him in Bond?
The name's Bond. James Bond.
I mean, it's obviously horrendous what News of the World did, but they could have tapped more phones in this situation, I will say, because some of these calls to here would have been bloody lovely. But Claire, don't go thinking that Law is a simple victim.
No.
No. You see, when this information came out about Miller's affair, apparently his publicist went and had a meeting with News of the World and asked them to backdate Sienna Miller's affair and make it look like it was earlier than it was. And please allow me to tell you why.
Oh my.
Jude Law and the nanny.
Oh, dirty dog.
Well. Jude was busy with some naughtiness of his own. For some background, Jude and Sienna meet on the set of Alfie in 2004. And then by Christmas, they are engaged.
They're so hot. They must have just been like looking at each other being like, we're so hot, you're so hot, I'm so hot, together we're hot.
The red carpet photos.
Oh, it's
they're so hot.
upsetting. It's upsetting.
A few months later come the rumours. Remember we did a thing in high school where the teachers got all the students, it was like a day and they were like, rumours are damaging. And I'm pretty sure we had to do like a liturgical dance to rumours damaging.
Yeah.
They are, but like rumours can also be fun.
Yeah.
And rumours can at times be true. By this stage, Law had 3 kids with his ex-wife and they had a lovely young nanny named Daisy.
Okay, who is his ex-wife?
A woman named Sadie. She's an actress. I didn't recognise her. She'd been in something to do with vampires. Things are going really well. He had been shooting a movie in New Orleans and would often have the nanny come so that he could work and also see the kids. Then one night, his children are with their mum, Sadie, at a dinner party. And one of the children walks into this dinner party and announces that they caught their dad in bed with the nanny.
That kid is everything.
So Sadie, his ex-wife, speaks to Daisy and is like, weird. They just said that they caught you in bed with Jude. And Daisy's like, what? And denies it. Then suddenly, Jude Law, Sadie are like to the nanny, oh, we don't need you next weekend, right? Or the one after that. And Daisy is like, how am I meant to have an affair with Jude Law if I can't even see him?
Yeah, that makes it tricky. Yep.
Then the journalists start to call. They're like, Daisy, we've heard this rumour. And then Jude calls Daisy and is like, by the way, you're fired and you can't come anymore. You can't come. You're not the nanny anymore. My wife is pissed off.
Ever since I had an affair with you.
And Daisy is all like, I've lost my job. I've lost my boyfriend. I think I'll do a tell-all interview.
Love.
So, would you like to know the dirtiest details?
Oh my gosh, I don't know about this.
Because you won't believe it, but Daisy kept a diary.
Dear diary,
I'm sorry I slept with your man.
Just a note on diaries. Who keeps a diary? I'll tell you who.
Not lazy girls.
Adulterers and murderers. And if there's one piece of advice I'd give you, don't keep a diary if you're doing those things.
No, it's a record.
Miller had gone back to London for a play she was in, and Laura and Daisy went to a bar or something. This is all according to Daisy, so like not verified, but you know, she kept diaries. And they talk and they have wine, and then at 3 a.m. he says, it's a big house. If you get lonely, let me know. And she turns around. She was going to go to bed and then she turns around and they start kissing. This is quote. The next thing I know, we are dragging each other upstairs to his bedroom, kissing, and then in the bedroom, ripping off each other's clothes. We threw ourselves onto the giant bed. I wanted him so much. We kicked off our underwear. It was mind-blowing, rampant sex. Amazing. Wonderful.
He's married.
He actually wasn't. He was only engaged.
Oh, okay.
He had just finalised his divorce from Sadie, which meant that he could now marry Sienna, but they're engaged. But then at dawn, after 3 rounds of sex, Jude's son comes in and is like, Daddy, I'm having a bad dream.
Oh, no.
And Jude is like, it's okay, go back to bed.
I wonder if the bad dream, you know, when you're half asleep and the noises around you get woven into your dream, I wonder if there were like groans and he was like, I had a dream that I was in the jungle. And no, that was just Daddy.
No, I'm thinking, did you have a bad dream that Daddy's having sex with a nanny? You won't believe it.
It's
but
not
you're
a
spot
dream.
on.
Yeah.
Daisy told the Mirror, it was amazing. Jude was a masterful lover who made my whole body tingle.
Mate, you don't need to share that.
They had sex again on multiple trips, once on a pool table, once after she heard him arguing on the phone with Miller, and once she asked him how he felt about Sienna Miller. He said, she is very dear to me, but it's hard. I don't make a habit of this. Talking about the affair.
Oh, well, good on you.
So Daisy says she went to the press because she was upset that Jude didn't fight for her when she got sacked.
Okay.
And it's like, I mean this lovingly, what did you expect Sadie to do? Sadie, the ex-wife.
Yeah.
What's she going to do? Oh, the nanny's sleeping with Jude.
I am going to put my flag in the ground. My ex-husband's mistress.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop everything and really advocate for her right to employment.
Miller might have learned about all of this from a headline. And then a few days later, Law came out and issued a public apology that read, following the reports in today's papers, I just want to say I am deeply ashamed and upset that I've hurt Sienna and the people most close to us. Jude said, I want to publicly apologise to Sienna and our respective families for the pain that I have caused. They were then off and on again for a bit, which is, I think, when the Daniel Craig thing happened. Then they got back together a few years later, but then they broke up ultimately again.
Oh, no.
7 kids to 4 different women. I'm not saying Jude Law is Nick Cannon.
Yo, what's the deal, y'all? It's your man, Nick Cannon, a.k.a. Mr. Controversial.
But I am saying he's more than halfway there.
Yeah. Which, again, that really expresses.
Did you know Jude Law had 7 kids?
No. I knew he had a lot.
I hadn't thought about it enough, and I quite like doing this research. Jude's eldest, Raph, is 27 years old, and he's the eldest of 3 kids between Jude and Sadie Frost. They also have Iris and Rudy. Then in 2009, he had a baby with model Samantha Burke. Her name is Sophia. Then he had Ada with a woman named Catherine in 2015. Ada was born after they had already split up. Then it's understood he has 2 children with his current wife, Philippa Cohn, who he married in 2019. They're very private, have not released the sex or birth dates of either of them. It's understood that their youngest was born in 2023, so that means there's a 27-year age gap between his eldest and his youngest.
There's some beautiful baby names in there. Thanks for the inspo.
He does have beautiful baby names.
I like Jude too.
I like Jude, but his name's David.
Yeah.
What I will say is from my reading, he seems like a good dad. He actually does seem like a good dad. He seems like he really loves kids.
Okay.
The nanny was not his finest moment, but he's involved.
Here's the question. Do you think that Sadie Frost seems like a good mum?
Yeah, I absolutely think Sadie Frost
Okay, well, why didn't you say that?
Because she's not on trial. She's not on trial
What
today.
makes you think he's a good dad?
The way he talks about his kids very lovingly.
And what does he say?
So when he had his kids, because he had the first 3 quite young, and he's like, yeah, I used to be able to sleep in. I used to have more freedom, but I love it. I love getting up early, looking after those kids. He's often pictured. He takes them out a lot. He's got very good relationships with his eldest kids. He's clearly learned a lot about the spotlight, which is why with his new wife, they have a lot of privacy. And this sounds weird, right? But with Catherine Harding, they'd only been dating for like 7 months or something. And then she fell pregnant and then they broke up. And Catherine Harding has gone on the record and been like, he's amazing. He's an amazing dad to their little one.
Okay, great. Is it the bare minimum?
Yes, but I'm comparing him to Nick Cannon.
Okay, yeah. Compared to Nick Cannon, Father of the Year.
Correct. Lastly, fecal-scented perfume.
Oh, no.
Speaking at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival about his role as Henry VIII in his upcoming film Firebrand.
She was the 6th wife of the vengeful King Henry VIII.
I won't be patron to heretics.
He will kill me like he did my mother. The 5 wives who came before her all met untimely ends.
I really want to see that.
I'd like to see that. I love Henry VIII.
I love movies about
historical figures such as Elizabeth with Kate Blanchett.
Yes.
Law said he had a special perfume made to really get into character. Lovely idea. He said it smells of blood, fecal matter and sweat to resemble the smell of the king's rotting leg in his final days.
Your perfume is delightful.
This is a quote from Jude Law. I read several interesting accounts that you could smell Henry 3 rooms away. His leg was rotting so badly. He hid it with rose oil. I thought it would have a great impact if I smelled awful. He got this perfumer to make it, and at first he used it quite sparingly, and then he just went all out over the top. The director said when Jude walked in on set, it was just horrible.
Oh,
what do you think of that?
Okay, a few things. Yeah. One, mate, it's called acting. We can just act. We can
act like there's a bad smell.
Yeah.
Without having literal shit in the air. Yeah. Yeah.
It's upsetting for everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
And how do you get the smell of fecal matter? Do you need a drip of shit?
Great question.
Thank you.
And it's just interesting because it's like, okay, this is for you to get in character. Well, it's not just affecting you, is it? It's affecting the cameraman.
And in fact,
and the makeup artist.
The way that smell works, you'd stop smelling it after a while.
Everybody else
who doesn't?
it.
Everyone who walks into the room. Your co-stars. Your co-stars who are just in the next suburb over going, can anyone else smell that? It smells like rotting. That's the smell of a rotting.
I don't like it. When actors do things like this, I just think it's okay. We can just pretend.
We can pretend. And he's married.
So he went home and his wife was like, you're an actor. I don't see why you need to smell like shit.
You smell like shit, sweat and rot. Blood, fecal matter and sweat.
With that said, I do think these sorts of details are great for promotion.
Because great story, fun.
Yes, I want to watch it and be like, when he walks into a room, does everyone flinch?
I agree.
Because of the smell.
And would I want to sniff? Absolutely.
Oh, I'm curious.
I care so much about how the past smelled.
I think about it a lot because they didn't brush their teeth, for example.
Yep.
They didn't wash their hair.
There were cockroaches living in Queen Elizabeth's wig.
Yeah. And they used to, when you would be corseted up, you'd be corseted up in your little outfit
for the season.
For the season, and you wouldn't wash. What does that smell like?
You'd stink so bad. And then you had your rags, because it's not like they had tampons or pads where you were constantly changing.
Yeah.
So I guess in that case, you really smell that blood.
Yeah, but I think the corset thing makes me think about dead skin and I really don't enjoy that.
It's like when you get a cast off.
Yeah, when you broke your leg, got a cast, they cut it off and you go,
You'd just walk into one of those castles and you'd be like, oh, get me out of here.
I don't like it.
Claire, it is time for charges and sentences. My charge. This charge actually comes from Sienna Miller's mum, who made a statement in the wake of the nanny fiasco. And she said the man can't keep it in his pants. And that's my charge for Jude Law. He can't keep it in his pants. He's wiggling around.
It's a common ailment.
Yeah. It's his fatal flaw.
Among men who are beautiful and have been given everything they want.
Yeah. His Willie has impregnated a lot of people. No judgment. 7 kids.
His Willie's got a life of its own.
It does. And maybe he's recovered. Maybe with this new Philippa, by all accounts, going very well. But we can prosecute historic crimes. That's how the law works. My sentence. If I was Sienna Miller and Jude Law had what can only be described as a wandering dick, I'd get out the perfume.
Oh, wow.
And what I would say is, Jude, I'm going to London for my play. Oh, I forgot this detail too. In the wake of it, she was doing a play every night in London to 800 people and she broke down on stage. She said it's the worst time of her entire life and there's like 6 weeks that she can't account for because she just can't even remember it. She was so heartbroken. But she was on stage, she broke down and then she didn't do the next night. But then she came back, sans $35,000 engagement ring.
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
If I was...
Imagine, that'd be a good, you'd be happy with the money you spent on that ticket to see Sienna Miller cry IRL about Jude Law's wandering dick. You'd never forget it.
It's just so fun. Look, if Jude Law was my guy and I was going to London to be in a play, I'd say, Jude, put on your perfume.
On all your clothes.
Oh, my Armani? No, not your Armani. Put on
your poo perfume.
Put on your poo perfume. No, not a spritz. Put it on your dick.
Douse yourself.
Douse yourself in your poo perfume while I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get back. You can have a bath, a scrub, put on something a bit nicer. But while I'm out, we wear our poo perfume everywhere.
It's important for you and your wandering dick.
Yes, it's helpful. It's like a chastity belt.
It is, Jude Law style. Jesse, my charge. And we've had this before.
Yeah.
I've had it a few times. Being a dirty dog.
He is a dirty. Yes, he's a dirty dog.
Such a dirty dog.
Yeah.
And look, my sentence is, if he's going to sit in court and it's going to come out that he wanted to backdate Sienna Miller's
his publicist
little rendezvous, then I'm going to need more detail on the record about his escapades. I know we've got
I
diary
don't know
entries.
if there are any more details that haven't been given.
You know,
because
who
there's a
I
tell-all
want?
that she was paid handsomely for.
Okay.
And then what she did after that is she realised that her career was in the gutter.
Yeah.
And I think she tried to keep nannying. And I just want you to imagine you're hiring a nanny at the moment, that Daisy appears on your doorstep and you go, hello.
And then
do you have any
Google her.
references? Oh, they didn't give a reference. Who are your last employers? Jude Law and Sadie Frost. Why did that end? Fuck Jude. Okay. Get out. Get out.
It's just not professional.
It's not professional. And you worry.
You worry. But it's not professional and it's who was looking after the kids when you were doing the fucking.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
But the perspective we haven't got and that I'm going to need
because
on
someone
the
had a
record.
bad dream, probably looked for the nanny.
Oh, don't.
And then looked for daddy. And there they were.
That would have been scary.
Yeah.
I need the kid to tell his version of the story. I need more from him. I need the kid to stand up and be questioned in this
by
trial.
the judge who's like, this is about news of the world. And it's like, this is actually
you're
not
now
relevant to news of the world.
Questioning a child about finding daddy in bed with another woman.
Okay. What do you want to know about it?
What was the nightmare?
Okay, nice.
Tell us about the nightmare. You walk in. When you say you saw them in bed, was it active?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't active. They were sleeping because they'd romped 3 times. Okay. And then apparently when the kid left the room, they romped again.
Oh, come on.
That's what Daisy says.
Okay. Well, the question is, were they nude?
Yes.
Did you hear them? Did you suspect, little child?
Yeah.
That daddy was being a bit naughty?
Yeah.
Did you, when you walked in and told your mummy, did you know you were starting to? And if so, kudos.
I like that it was a dinner party.
I know.
I like that it wasn't just a random nightwear bedtime story. It was like, hey, dinner party. There's 45 of you here. I found Dad in bed with the nanny.
I love children.
I love children.
Jesse, that's all we've got time for.
The executive producer of Cancelled is Talissa Bazaz with audio editing by Thom Lyon. If you have a Lazy Girl story, please send them to us at @twins_thoughts on Instagram, or you can email them in to podcasts@mamamia.com.au. We love to read them. We will be back next week.
Bye.
Bye. Back by popular demand, we have a discount code for the Lazy Girls. For a limited time only, you can use this very special code for $20 off an annual Mamamia subscription. Claire, what is the code?
Best 20.
Now, how are the Lazy Girls going to remember that?
Best
20.
And it's capital best.
It's best 20, the number. That means you can get unlimited access to the best podcasts, articles, discounts, and automatic entry into all current and future Lazy Girl giveaways.
Speaking of Lazy Girl giveaways, right now you could win one of 12 $250 Best and Less vouchers. So you can do your winter shop for the whole family in one place. Best and Less.
We've given away some epic prizes. For example, just last month, Petrus won the Alana Maria jewellery bundle valued over 1.5k. And in April, we had 6 winners of the GHD prize packs. They arrived on their doorstep. I don't know how. There's another team in charge of that, don't you worry, because these lazy girls would forget. It would
don't
fall
you worry.
through the cracks.
Don't worry. People who are far more unlazy than us, they do the putting in the package, taking it to the post office.
And it does arrive. We have evidence it arrives.
Yes.
So go to the link in the show notes and use code BEST20 at checkout for $20 off an annual Mamamia subscription to go in the running. Everyone knows lazy girls need an incentive.
Yeah, they do. And
because you're basically saving money. You're saving money by getting an annual subscription. You just put $20 in your pocket.
And you can win free prizes.